Hey, I'm Markia. Want to hear something scary? Don't blink. Maria was overjoyed when she had a weekend to herself home alone. Her parents and brother were traveling out of town for a chess tournament, so she had free reign of the place as long as she checked in with Mom every night and morning. Friday night, she stayed up and watched movies alone on the couch. At midnight, the front door sensor rang, alerting her to movement outside. When she walked up to the digital screen to look at who was outside at this hour, no one was there. The only thing she saw was a rimmed hat lying on the ground. For a moment, she swore she saw fingers sliding underneath it. Maybe it was just the light playing tricks on her. Thoughts of the fingers faded away as she leafed through the mail she had collected earlier, and something caught her eye. There was a handwritten postcard addressed to the house's former owner, a Mr. King, the owner of the old hat parlor in town before he had died under mysterious circumstances. It was a thank you note that read, "Dearest Mr. King, your exquisite hat makes me feel like a completely different person. I feel transformed. My Pazuzites will require more of your services soon. With utmost gratitude, Rose." Maria figured that maybe someone stopped by to return one of his creations. In any case, it was too late to go outside. She'd deal with the hat in the morning. In the morning, Maria was awakened by the doorbell. It was her friend Teresa. Maria opened the door to find her wearing the hat on her head. "Did you leave this outside?" Teresa asked, taking the hat off and offering it to Maria. "It's incredible." The hat was unique, but also unsettling. It looked like a magician's hat that you could pull a rabbit out of, but smaller and adorned with a red leather strip. When Maria touched it, the smell of leather hit her and made her stomach drop. She couldn't bear the thought of an animal being used for fashion. Plus, the hat itself just flat out gave her the creeps. "You can have it if you want it," she said, handing it back to her friend. As Teresa put it back on her head, a shadow fell across her face for an instant. In that instant, a shadowed face of a stranger looked back at her. Maria blinked, and her friend looked normal again. The girls spent the whole day lazing around on the living room couch. They binge-watched their favorite shows until it got dark. Teresa's stomach rumbled loudly. It was almost midnight. She looked over at Maria. Her friend was fast asleep. Not wanting to wake her, Teresa went to the kitchen to heat up a small frozen pizza in the microwave. As the timer counted down on her food, the microwave began to flicker. In its dark reflection, Teresa didn't recognize her own face. And as she blinked, her face continued to transform. She felt her mouth begin to stretch. The hat. There was something sinister about the hat. Something incredibly wrong with it. Blink. She held her hands to her face. Her fingers were stretched. They were longer. Blink. She felt her eyes begin to protrude bigger and out of their sockets. Blink. She dropped unconscious on the kitchen floor as the microwave timer went off. Maria was jolted awake by the sound. When had it gotten so dark? Groggily, she looked at the clock in the living room. It was already past midnight. The sound of the beeping microwave drew her towards the kitchen. "Teresa?" she called out, but nobody was there. The back door was open. The back security monitor lit up as the motion detector went off. Outside, she saw a figure wearing a hat in the distance. The now familiar red strip caught her eye. She stepped outside, semi-shutting the door behind her. "Teresa, hey, your pizza is going to get cold." Blink. Maria blinked, and Teresa was suddenly closer. Under the hat, her face seemed to shift in the shadows. Something was wrong. "Are you okay?" she asked, blinking again. Blink. Her gaze fixated on the suddenly horrifying creature in the hat wearing Teresa's clothes. It stood frozen with its long fingers stretched out towards her. The same fingers she had glimpsed slipping under the rim of the hat the night before. That postcard. "I feel transformed." Mr. King's hat was the vehicle for this dark creature, and Teresa had become its host. Blink. It was closer, halfway to her. It had no eyes on its face, 2 gaping nostril holes, and 2 rows of sharp, bloody teeth. It was paused in mid-step, but as she blinked, it's in front of her. The creature's frozen smile was wide as it waited for her to blink again. Maria's eyes watered as she tried to hold them open, reaching behind her for the doorknob. For the safety of the house, Horrified and trying her best not to shut her eyes, they began to burn, and reflexively she blinked. The creature dug its fingers into her eyes. Without Maria's gaze, it was free to roam and to feed. Neither girl was found the next day. No trace of them. All that remained was the fancy hat with the red strip, sitting patiently by the back door.